here today with another quarterly book haul. It's the second quarter of the month, so in this video I'll be talking about all the books that I hauled in the months of April, May, and June. I had to think for a second there. So June is not entirely over yet, I know that, but I also know that I won't be getting any more books this month, so I just thought I'd already film this haul and get it up. I don't have a lot of books this quarter. I just kind of focus on buying some other things this past quarter, so therefore not a lot of money went towards books because it went towards other things, but I still got some books that I'm very excited to talk to you about, so let's do that. The first book that I got in April now is Six Times We Almost Kissed by Tess Sharp. This is a YA contemporary romance, and I just this title along with like the little synopsis on the back immediately had me so hyped for this book, and I've heard great things about Tess Sharp, so I just was really excited to read it. And it's one of my most anticipated releases of the year for like no other reason than just like the title and the small synopsis, because I have not read anything by Tess Sharp yet. But I can't really say I read this and I absolutely loved it, so I made the right decision there. I also got Daisy Hates and The Long Way Home by Jessa Hastings. These are book 2 and 3 in the Magnolia Parks universe. I believe that's what the series is called. And I got the first book in my last quarterly haul, and I have not read that yet. But this is just kind of a series that I feel like is going to be very, very addictive. And as soon as I start reading it, I'm going to want to read them all. And I have not gotten my hands on the last book in the series, but at least I have some way to get through. This is like a very popular, I believe it's new adult romance series. Then next we have Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey, which is the first book in the Divine Mist duology, which I have read in its entirety by now. I also got an early copy of Unfortunately Yours, which is the second book on NetGalley. I read that last month, and then this one I also read early. It was one of my favorite books that I read last year, and therefore I had to like get myself an actual physical copy, and I want to reread this sometime, so I like having my copy of it. And then I also got The Popular by R.F. Kwan. This is a popular adult fantasy novel that I've heard so many great things about, and it's military fantasy as well, as believe. So yeah, I've been meaning to read this for a while. I've had my eye on it for a while, but I just never got around to like finding a copy of it in a physical bookstore, and I did now, so I got it, and I'm very, very excited to read this. I mean, it is a bit out of my comfort zone, and I'm kind of scared to read it as well, but I've only heard incredible things about this book and the series in general. So that's what I got in April. So now moving on to the books I got in May, which was only one book. That's Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is Emily Henry's latest romance, and this one we follow a couple who has split up, but now they are going on like this vacation with their friend group that they do every year. And because I believe it's the last vacation they're taking, because the place they're going to is like shutting down, I guess. I don't fully understand, so therefore they pretend that they're still together, so their friends won't have to worry about that, and they'll like tell them about the breakup afterwards. And yeah, I'm very excited to give this a read. I've heard some mixed things about this book, so I am going in a bit hesitant, but I really enjoyed all of the other Emily Henry books that I've read, so hopefully I'll also really enjoy this one. And then lastly, we got the 2 books that I got in June. I actually got today, at least on the day of filming this. You're seeing this a couple of days after. And again, these are romance releases that I'm very excited for. The first one being King of Pride by Anna Wan, which is the second book in the Kings of Sin series. I really, really loved King of Rat that I read last year, and it came out last year as well, the first book in the series, and that was again one of my favorites of the year. Since then, I have also read the Twisted series, which I had some mixed opinions on, but overall still enjoyed it. So I have been highly anticipated this book. We're following Kai and Isabella in this one, and we got some glimpses of them interacting in the first book, and so I'm very excited to give this a read. And then lastly, we have Love Theoretically by Ellie Hazelwood. This literally just came out. I think this came out earlier in the week, but I'm still excited I got it. This is Ellie Hazelwood's latest release. I really enjoyed both the Love Hypothesis and the novellas. There's only one that I didn't really like, and then Love in the Brain I absolutely adored. I read that earlier this year, so I've been highly anticipating Love Theoretically ever since, and I'm gonna read this as soon as I can because I am just so incredibly hyped for this release. I also just love this cover. Like, ignore this because that looks ugly as fuck, but like Doesn't this look just so cute? And I love the colors in this. Like, I'm typically not an orange person, but I don't know, something about this cover I just absolutely adore. That was my little haul for today. Not very long, I apologize. But if you read any of these books that I haven't read yet, because there are 2 books in here that I have read, but if you read any of these books that I haven't yet, let me know in the comments what you thought of them, so I know which ones to prioritize. You can also always talk about the 2 books that I did read, because I love discussing those with you. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time. Here I am again, the same old situation. What does the